Hi there, this is Anna Newborg, your Wilkinsburg Library Director. Today I am going to show you how to apply online for a mail-in ballot in Pennsylvania. Although the primary election has been moved back, some of you still may be feeling uncomfortable about going to the polls in person and voting. So Pennsylvania has a system where you can request a mail-in ballot. A mail-in ballot is not an absentee ballot. Anyone can request a mail-in ballot. So what I've done to find the mail-in ballot application form is, you can see at the top, I have just typed in a Google search for PA mail-in ballot. And the link that we're going to go to is the second one that comes up, Mail-in and Absentee Ballot Votes PA. So we're going to click on that link. And we're going to see some instructions about voting by absentee or mail-in ballot. Now, it explains what are mail-in ballots, what's the difference between an absentee ballot and a mail-in ballot. An absentee ballot is if you're going to be out of the municipality or you have a disability or illness. Now, a mail-in ballot is for essentially anyone else. You do not have to have a reason to request a mail-in ballot. Any citizen who is registered to vote can request a mail-in ballot. So when you're ready to request your mail-in ballot, you're going to scroll down the page. We're going to skip the absentee ballot. We're going to go to more about mail-in ballots. We see instructions about voting by mail-in ballot. We're going to see the deadline to request one. So in this case, it is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, May 26th. And next we're going to see, how do I apply for a mail-in ballot? So you can apply online. And if you scroll down, you see this link, apply online at. We're going to click on this link. And it takes us here. And it's going to give you some instructions. If you're a voter with a valid PA driver's license or a PEN.ID number, you may apply with this online form. If you do not have one of these ID numbers, you will need to download a paper application and mail it to your county board of elections. Now, if you would like a paper application, we do have those in the entryway to the Wilkinsburg Borough Building at 605 Ross Avenue. But if you have a driver's license or PEN.ID number, you can apply online. Okay, and then we'll see the usual I'm not a robot. We'll click it. In this case, it's asking me to select all squares with crosswalks. So I'm going to do that. Click next. There are no crosswalks here, so I'm going to skip. And luckily, I have been verified as not being a robot, so I can begin my application. And next it's going to ask you a series of questions, or a question whether or not you're a military or overseas civilian absentee voter. In this case, I'm not, so I'm going to click no. Are you applying for a ballot because you'll be absent from your municipality for the upcoming election? No, I won't be absent, so I'm going to click no. Are you applying for a ballot for the upcoming election because you have an illness or physical disability? No. So the reason that they're asking you these questions is to make sure that you do not need a absentee ballot instead of a mail-in ballot. If you had answered yes to any of these questions, they would have told you you needed to fill out an absentee ballot instead of a mail-in ballot. But since I answered no to all these questions, we're going to go ahead and click continue. Now, next, this will take you to where you fill in your applicant information. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to fill in my own personal information, but basically what you'll need to do is click in each box and fill in the information that it asks you to fill in. Your first name, your last name, date of birth, your phone number, and your email. All right, so I went ahead and filled in my personal information, and I clicked the continue button once I was done with that. Next, it brings me to my identification. This is where you'll have to enter your PA driver's license or PEN.ID number. Now, again, if you don't have either of these forms of identification, you can still request a mail-in ballot by filling out a paper application. You can download and print a paper application from this website, or you can pick one up at the entryway to the Wilkinsburg Borough Building at 605 Ross Avenue. Okay, so I went ahead and I entered my driver's license number and clicked continue. It then took me to a place where I have to fill in my current address. So you'll fill in your county of residence. In my case, it's Allegheny County. Then I'd fill in my house address, my city, my state, my zip code. You have to enter, you have lived at this address since, whatever year it was you moved to that particular address. Election district, if known, that's not a requirement. The only required fields are the ones with the red next to it, as you can see next to zip code and city. And then it's going to ask, would you like the ballot mailed to you at the address above? So after you have read and agreed to the terms, it's going to take you to a screen where you'll just verify that everything you entered is correct. If it is, you'll move on to the next screen where it lets you know that your application has been submitted, your application number, and some other information. You can print the confirmation page. You don't have to. You'll also receive an email update as soon as it's processed, et cetera, et cetera. If you didn't supply an email address and you still want to receive a confirmation, you would enter your email address at the bottom and click submit. And that's really all there is to it. I've now signed up to receive a mail-in ballot in the mail for this upcoming primary election. If you have any questions about mail-in ballots or registering to vote, please feel free to email us at wilkinsburghelp@gmail.com. Thank you, and bye.